Hi everybody, I'm Bodybuilder Bob. Um, I'm 64 years old and I'm a competitive bodybuilder. I just won first place in the Nationals and also the Masters. When I say I'm a natural bodybuilder, that means I never took any steroids or any supplements that would endanger my health in any way or anybody else. I highly recommend that you don't take steroids. I'm not. I'm drug tested at the contest just to make sure that I don't. But then again, I'm 64 years old. I wouldn't be 64 years old and competing if I took steroids when I was younger. So that's why I try to impress on the younger guys at the gym. Even though they always question me, they say you take steroids, and I'll tell them no. But if they take steroids, I will not train them at all. It's not the way to go at all. I don't, excuses from people will say, well, you come from good genes, or they will say to me, you take steroids. So again, I tell them no steroids. I don't come from good genes. I'm 64 years old. When I turned 63, I was the oldest living man in the family. My grandfather was 54. My father was the oldest at 62. My uncle was in his 40s. My other uncle was in his 40s. My cousin was in his 40s. So I don't come from a real healthy family with good genes, but my lifestyle's been completely different ever since I've been a young guy. Years ago, my mom, may she rest in peace, she was watching Jack LaLanne, and she says to me, "There's a fella. Maybe you should follow his lifestyle instead of the lifestyle that your father has and your grandfather has." And so I watched him closely, and I listened to him. And over the years, I kind of listened to what he said, and I practice what I preach. Now, what I do is I pass that on to people when I train people. I've been training people for almost 40 years. With 40 years, I train myself, and I only show people what I tried myself. I don't take things out of books or off the internet or whatever, which isn't a bad thing to do. There's so much information on the internet now as far as bodybuilding and just keeping fit and diet and everything. I only supplements that I take are supplements that are natural supplements. I take vitamins, multi-mineral vitamins. But most of my vitamins come from my food. I increased my protein when I started putting muscle size on because your muscle is made of protein basically. It's a good thing to do to take protein before you work out and also to take protein after you work out. This way you build muscle and take some vitamin C. It helps aids in healing, which is you're tearing down muscle tissue, so you want to build that muscle tissue back up. Exercise, we're not in a gym, so I can't show you some exercise. I can tell you about what to do and what to look for. First of all, if you're going to get a personal trainer, make sure he looks better than you. If he doesn't look better than you, he might not know what he's talking about. Second of all, be comfortable where you're going and do it for yourself. If somebody's telling you that you should go work out or something, do it for yourself. If you're not ready, it's not going to work like anything else. We all need something in life. Some people go out and drink or do other things or whatever. I turned all my focus to bodybuilding and exercise. And then as I started developing, I said, boy, I'm really going to get into this. And I went my first contest back in the late 70s. I came in like sixth because back then a lot of guys were taking steroids and I never would take any. So I came in sixth and fifth, and over the years I slowly moved up. Of course, most of the guys got older and they could no longer compete. That was one thing. But then again, I compete against the younger fellas too. I have another contest coming up in Baltimore, Maryland, which is going to be in about 2 weeks from now. And I'll be ready for that one. I keep myself pretty lean most of the time. I do watch my diet very, very closely. With me being a bodybuilder, the diet is 50% my diet and 50% of exercise. For the average person, like you might be out there, it's 80% is your diet and 20% would be your exercise. Again, getting back to the diet, when I tell people I'm going to arrange a diet for them, they almost panic and they get out the pencil and the paper and they say, I have to start writing this down. It's not that involved. 90% of you know what to do, and if you don't do it, you're only aggravating yourself, you're disappointing yourself. So don't start unless you're going to follow through. The good thing is that you're going to do this on your own. Uh, Try to do it before a doctor tells you to do it. And that's another thing. Always check with your doctor first, depending on your age, before you start any exercise to make sure that you can do it. If I wasn't a bodybuilder, I would be more interested in cardiovascular work. I don't really do aerobics other than I do the elliptical and I do the Stairmaster. And I do monitor my heart rate, which is very important. You want to see your heart rate go up to your full aerobic heart rate, and then you want to see it come down quickly. If it doesn't come down quickly, there's certain signs of something might be wrong. That's again your age, and also you ask your doctor if it's okay. That's very important. What else I do also is I do a lot of abdominal work, and I do sets and repetitions with weight. Uh, Now, weight, over the years ago, people say, oh, weightlifters, dumb bodybuilders, and this and that. And the reason why, because we're taking a lot of protein and very little carbohydrates. Now, you hear from everybody, you got to keep your carbohydrates low. What happens is if you keep your carbohydrates low, sometimes your brain doesn't function as much. Now, I notice with myself, when I keep my carbs very low for a contest, I'm more prone to injuries. So I add a little pasta in my diet every day. Which makes a big difference to me. I consider my body finely tuned, so I don't take anything that would offset that. But by being finely tuned, if I do take a different kind of vitamin or I try something else, I know right away whether it's good or whether it's bad for me. Um, I don't take energy drinks. I'm not here to promote anything. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just trying to get up and get out there and do some exercise, whether you're walking or in the house, you're walking up and down your stairs. Do something, get something going, because in this day and age with all the computers and everything, we kind of lose something as far as our physical makeup and our muscle tone and our heart. You're hearing so many stories now, people with diabetes and high blood pressure. All of a sudden they lost 20, 30 pounds, and next thing you know, they're getting they're better. They're going off medications and stuff. So that's a big part of it. Not that I'm against medications. I mean, certain ones, over the years when I got sick or whatever, I had to take medication. When I got in a serious motorcycle accident, they gave me all kinds of stuff. But it does work, and speaking of it does work, people talk to you about steroids. Yes, they do work. I've seen guys at the gym get big, get small, and done. It creates other problems, though, in your body, so you really don't want to do that. I take basic vitamins. I take multi-mineral vitamins. I take a lot of protein, but the protein comes mostly from my foods, which is egg whites, chicken, fish, turkey. That's my main source of protein. I do put a protein supplement in my milk, my skim milk, which is just a powdered skim milk. Well, it's a powdered supplement that goes into the skim milk. But again, I'm not promoting any of these things to you. Good old basic food, which you can get in a supermarket without spending a ton of money and a ton of time looking for things. It's not easy. If you live by yourself, it's probably the easiest way. Make it your hobby. Eat. Do your exercise on the floor, whatever you got to do, or join the gym. Again, you'll find a good personal trainer, or go to the gym on your own and just do some research on the internet as far as moves and stuff. I don't like to show people or tell people what to do without actually seeing the exercise, because if you misinterpret what I say, you might only hurt yourself. And some people can't do certain exercises. Even myself, there's certain ones over the years that I can't do anymore because they're awkward for me, and I guess because of my age and also my muscle development. And, oh, that's me in the background. There you go, folks. That was more for me than you. But anyway, you got to start sometime. Any time's a good time to start exercising. People in their 70s now, they're finding that they're building muscle. And I don't recommend muscle building or bodybuilding training or weightlifting to somebody that's too young. Under 20 years of age, you're still growing. Even when I graduated high school, I was 18 years old, and I grew an inch within a year, or about a year and a half actually, and So you don't want to start building muscle because muscle is very easy to build, believe it or not, especially when you're young, obviously. When you build the muscle tissue and you build the muscle size, um, you're retarding the growth of your bones. Your bones are very important as far as your posture and everything. So what you're doing is you're cramping that style. It's like putting a big fish in a small fish tank. He can only get so big. So what you're doing is you're getting that rib cage expansion that you wouldn't get. You're getting a width in your chest, and so by doing this, like I said, it's like putting a brace around you or putting bandages around you to keep you from growing. So if you're under 20 years of age, I don't recommend heavy weightlifting and heavy bodybuilding. Even though there's a lot of teenage contests now and everything, again, like I said, you're still growing. So, and then there's exercise that people do after they're 20 years old. For instance, they'll do rib cage exercise, which is called pullovers. They'll lay back on a bench and I'll take the weight and I'll pull it over and I'll say, what does that do? And they say, well, that expands my rib cage. Well, I guess what? After you're 20 years old or after 25 years old, your rib cage is not going to expand anymore. So don't do that exercise. I don't do it. I did it when I was younger, but now I don't do it. So you don't want to waste time. And now also exercise, as far as women know this very well, it builds bone density. Very important. Men and women lose bone density. So that's another reason why that you want to do exercise. Uh, my uh, my doctor always says to me, "Well, why do you do this?" He says, "What do you want to do? You want to live forever?" And I says, "Yeah." I says, "So far, so good. I'm 64, but he's totally out of shape, and he tells me what he eats, and I can see why. It's very important we eat. Again, if you live by yourself, it's easy to keep a certain amount of balance of things in the refrigerator. If you have other people in the house and kids, you got cookies, you got candies and everything, which I love. I love all that stuff. Believe me, when I was a kid, I used to love all that stuff. Even now, I still do. It's very, very hard to resist that. Most people say, well, you're lucky because you don't like sweets, you don't like this. I love sweets, I love everything. But even when we go out to dinner, for instance, here's a perfect example. We go out to dinner. If I order first, and my basic diet is fish a day on top of broccoli rabe or spinach, and then it goes around the table. Next thing you know, like we're having a meeting, the gentleman I'm with and stuff, they're all saying the same thing. Next thing you know, they sit straight, pull their stomach in, and they say, "I'll have the same thing." So I order last now. When you go to a restaurant and the first thing they bring out, I'll say, what's the first thing they bring out? Everybody will say bread. But most of the time, they'll bring out water. Before you even start, you should drink that glass of water and then scrutinize that menu and then order it. No matter where you go, you can eat healthy. I stop in McDonald's once in a while. I get their salad with the chicken on the top. Or I get in Wendy's, I'll get the Mandarin chicken salad. Again, it's not an advertisement for them, but and I get it with the light Italian dressing on it or something. So there's always some place you can eat healthy. It's just a matter of having the willpower to do this. Um, Once you start getting results, you'll get more into it. But again, you have to want it. You, not your husband's going to tell you or your wife's going to tell you. But if the doctor tells you, and he tells you that you have to start exercising for your heart, then what you got to do is start exercising. But again, make sure you're monitored by your doctor. The heart is a muscle; you have to work it. That's very, very important. Um, there's a doctor, Dr. Perricone. He made a very interesting statement about how why he does what he does, and which is a lot of exercise and diet. And he made a very good statement, and I kind of go with this. He said, "The last few days of my life, I don't want to be a burden to anyone else or myself." Now, by saying that, that's what keeps me going. Also, I train 4 days a week. Two for vanity and two for sanity. I'm a firm believer in that. When I go to the gym, no matter what stressful things I have going on in my life, and believe me, I've been through a lot at 64, a lot. I leave everything outside. There's a bench outside my gym, and I just imagine I put all my problems on there. I go inside, I train people, I exercise, and then when I come out, they're still there. Nobody picks them up. I pick them up and I go back. But just that exercise, that little break, makes me feel so much stronger. Okay, So what we're going to do is I'm just going to explain some exercises to you. And if you have any question, there'll be a number that'll come up on the screen that you could call and we can get a little further into it. I do train people in different gyms in the area, mostly in New Jersey. Sorry to say, being in Staten Island, but anyway, we're going to just talk about some basic exercises, and this is all you really have to do. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, exercise and equipment and machines and this and that and supplements and drinks. But the problem is, there's another good picture of me in the background, folks. Look at that. There you go. I have very low body fat. In this picture right here, I was my body fat was like about 9%, and my waist was 30 inches in this particular picture, as you can see on both sides here. Okay, so you don't have to get like that. It's good for me. It's something that makes me feel good. It's nice because it's something that I carry with me. Again, we're going to get back to exercise. You got to do sets and you have to do repetitions. Okay, now you're going to work the main body parts of your body. Now, all this elaborate equipment they have and all these things are just basically the same movement, but it makes you think that this piece of equipment is going to give me what I want. If you do the right exercise without all this equipment, you'll get the same results. These energy drinks that people take before they work out, they say I have to energy drink. All they are is a high dose of caffeine. So if you like coffee, have yourself a little espresso before you go to the gym, but eat some protein first. Take a little espresso or coffee, or I used to take instant coffee and put a little bit on my tongue, and well, that used to give me a boom from to do my exercises. But there's so many different things that you can take, but if you just get to the basics and you go to the supermarket, it doesn't have to be organic foods. It can just be good food. I mean, basically, if you're overweight, you're taking in more calories than you're burning. How simple is that? Okay, so you can do your calorie intake or just check that and see what you're taking each day. There's different charts and everything on the internet that'll tell you exactly how to do that. But I just can't express enough that you'll feel so good about yourself. This is the way Jack LaLanne started, I'm sure, and it impressed me a lot. And if I get one person out there to say, you know what, it's time. Don't wait till after the holidays. Don't wait till after this weekend, or don't do that. Just why not tonight? Why not tomorrow? And as far as these supplements that say if you take these supplements, we'll guarantee you'll lose 5-10 pounds in the first week or the first 10 days. But on the bottom, if you look or you listen closely, because they talk very, very quickly, I talk fast also. On the bottom, it always say, take your supplements, take this pill, the special pill, this miracle pill, and you're going to lose weight. Combined with diet and exercise. Combined with diet and exercise. So if you say, well, I didn't lose this weight, and they'll say, well, did you do diet and exercise? And they'll say, no, I really didn't. So what I tell people is, do the diet and do the exercise without taking that pill, because the first 5 or 10 pounds, depending on your body weight, is very, very easy to lose. Believe me. You could lose 10 pounds in a couple weeks, depending on you now, by doing one thing. People want to write down a whole diet and everything else. I tell them, don't eat after 7 o'clock at night. Very simple. Don't eat after 7 o'clock at night. And when you get up in the morning, make sure you eat. That's a lot of time that you're going without eating. And what you got to keep in mind, people say, well, I don't eat all day, I just eat at night. Well, that's not good, because what happens is your motor, your body inside, your metabolism starts slowing down. And when it slows down, all that food you eat, you wind up retaining everything. And if you retain everything, guess what? You're going to gain weight. So what you want to do is not eat after 7 o'clock at night, but eat in the morning first thing, get that motor going, get that metabolism going. The other thing is if you eat after 7 o'clock at night, okay, you notice yourself. You go to bed and you say, oh boy, it's 7 o'clock. I went to bed at 11 o'clock. I woke up 9 o'clock this morning and I feel tired. You know why you feel tired? Because you're sleeping, your eyes are closed, you're sleeping. Your motor, your heart rate, just look at your heart rate. You can probably see your shirt go up and down a little bit. Your heart rate is going. So by your heart rate going, it's like you being active and walking around and everything else all night long. That's why you're tired in the morning. So again, after 7 o'clock at night, if you're really get hungry or something like that, maybe a half a piece of toast and a little glass of milk or something, but not heavy food. Nighttime calories are the hardest calories to burn. Okay. All right. Now let's get into exercise. I hope you picked up on all of that. And again, I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just natural basic thing. That's what I take. I don't promote any products that people have. There's certain multi-mineral vitamins that I'm taking now to see how they react in my body. Like I'm finely tuned as far as energy drinks. It's just a high dose of caffeine. That's all it is, and sugar. So you really want to stay away from that. You really don't want that. Okay. Now, exercise. As far as doing exercise, you want to work the full body. Okay. Usually I like to see people just stretch out lightly, and then what I want you to do is do some kind of cardiovascular work. If I wasn't a bodybuilder, that's all I would do. I would just do cardiovascular work and to keep my heart rate up and to keep myself healthy, and you'll lose weight because you're burning a lot of calories doing cardio. But again, weight-bearing exercises build muscle density, bone density, and also build muscle. So you people that have problems with the osteoporosis or whatever, I'm sure your doctor told you to do some kind of weight-bearing exercise. Plus, I'm sure there's certain vitamins or certain medications that he wants you to take. It's very important. If you have a family history of it, it's more important to you. But again, when we do exercises, I always like to do the cardio first, and then from the cardio, you want to stretch out a little bit, and then you want to do your abdominal area. Okay, abdominal area, so it's like a no-no with a lot of people. I understand that. It's not that hard. You could do it at home. If you just do anything, you'd be surprised. We all have abdominals under there, but it's just a matter of losing the fat so you can see them. As you can see, I happen to have some right there. But anyway, so what we're going to do is just explain this briefly to you. You're going to do sets and repetitions. Okay. Each set consists of a certain amount of repetitions. I usually, when I train people, I tell them between 8 and 10 reps per set, and they're going to do 4 sets of the same exercise. Okay. Now for each body part, you want to do 4 sets, and you want to do 3 different exercises for each body part. So you're going to do 4 sets with 8 to 10 repetitions on, and you're going to do 3 per body part. So to do it all in one workout, it's kind of hard. I like to tell people a split routine, take 2 days off in between each one, and then it'll be different each week as far as when you repeat it. You want to work your arms, and you want to work your legs, and you want to work your chest, your back, your shoulders, and basically that's it. Everything else, if you're going to be a bodybuilder, naturally, then you do little individual exercises. You want to get an overall workout, so you might want to do what they call a group exercise. I don't mean with a bunch of people. I mean do an exercise that, mostly all exercises that you do, they will work other muscles in the body. That's why I like free weights to do a lot of my stuff, but the machines are good too. You're less prone to injuries, but again, you have to do them right. That's the most important thing. When you're doing a bench press, your feet have to be flat, your back has to be flat on the bench, no arching your back. And again, when you bring the weight down, you want to bring it down across your chest, not across your throat. If something happens and it goes on your throat, crushes your windpipe, you're all over. You're done. So we're going to do sets and repetitions. Okay, you know about the sets. There's 10 repetitions in each set, and you're going to do 4. Okay. Now, what you want to do is, normally when you do a split routine, you're going to work your chest, back, and shoulders, and then you're going to work your arms and legs, and what includes the calves. But always do the abdominal, always do the cardio. Okay? So now, when you do the exercise, you got to perform them right. The best thing to do is breathe in on the beginning of the exercise, exhale on the completion of the exercise. Any exercise that you are standing up on, whether you're doing curls, whether you're doing squats, whether you're doing any kind of rowing, always remember, if you look your eyes up to the ceiling, you will keep good posture and you will keep your head up. Don't look down. Don't look to the side while you're doing something. I know you got beautiful biceps, and you want to look and you want to see them, because if you look to the side while you're doing exercises, you're going to wind up pulling a muscle up in your traps. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep your head straight. You want to relax the rest of your body, and you just want to do your curls. Okay? Now, what you want to do is after you get doing your 8-10 repetitions, then what's going to happen is you want to only rest 30, 40, maybe 45 seconds in between. Don't walk away and talk to somebody and then come back. You're giving the muscle a chance to relax. Once it relaxes and you do the next set, it's like starting all over again. So your muscle, picture your muscle like in layers, okay? So now you tore the first muscle layer down, and now what happens if you let it relax, it regroups itself, and then you tear it down again. Now if you tear the first one down, you're pretty exhausted in the muscle. Now, next one is the lower lip tissue. And then what happens is once you tear that muscle down, it's going to wind up building back up again, and that's how you get size. Very simple. Sounds simple. It's a lot of hard work, though. But you really have to want it. And bodybuilding is something great. Exercise is something great. It's something you carry with you. Just go out now and stop. Don't eat after 7 o'clock at night for a couple nights. And then, but the first thing you do when you walk out in the morning, keep your head up. Don't walk like this. It makes a whole difference when you walk into a room. You have to talk to people. If you're walking with your head down and your arms down, it gives a whole different look. When I walk in a room, people just think I'm so confident in everything else. Well, I do know what I'm doing on certain things, but a lot of people, they see that, they feel your energy, and you do too, and you start feeling better about yourself. All of a sudden you feel better and better, next thing you know, people are looking up to you instead of the other way around. There's just a few more things that I'd like to tell you about that. Again, you want to work muscle parts, you want to do like maybe arms and legs in one day, and then you do chest and back in another day. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just show you a couple more. Again, you want to do bench presses, you want to do curls with your arms, you want to do squats for your legs. Don't neglect your legs and your abdominals. Everybody seems to do that, okay? That you don't want to do. Okay, now one more thing before I go. There's a fellow by the name of Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he said the first wealth is health is the first wealth. So that's all I can do, and I can only pass it on to you. So I wish you health, and I tell everybody this every New Year's Eve. I wish you health, and the rest is up to you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.